Hello fans, this is Crow for SportsCrapology.com. You can see us on Sports Crapology on YouTube, SportsCrapology.com, and Sports Crapology on X. I'm here today to talk to you about our final NFL head coaching carousel 2026. Give you the final head coaches, who was fired in the NFL, who replaced them, and my opinion on whether it was good or not. So the Giants, they fired Brian DeBole in the middle of the season. They replaced him at the end of the season with John Harbaugh, who was let go by the Baltimore Ravens. I think that's very good for the Giants. It's an upgrade. I expect the Giants to win the NFC East this year with Mr. Harbaugh at the helm. Mike Kafka was the interim head coach. I think he deserves to be head coach. I think he did a pretty good job with Jackson Dart and holding the Giants together after DeBole was dismissed. All right, so secondly, the Tennessee Titans, they let Brian Callahan go in the middle of the season. Good move, terrible coach. Maybe he should coach a high school team, but no college. He shouldn't be a coach at the college level or the NFL level. Him or his dad, they're terrible football coaches, and they need to find another profession. They replaced him with Robert Saleh, who's the Niners defensive coordinator, who was the head coach of the New York Jets previously. He's not a good choice. This is another very bad decision made by the Tennessee Titans. They will not improve very much. I don't know what they're thinking. Pay me the money. I'll make these decisions for you. Even if just as a consultant, I'll just come in and consult. And there's no way in that I would hire Robert Saleh to be my head coach. But anyway, Titans, Brian Callahan out, Robert Saleh in, bad move. Good move getting rid of Brian, bad move Robert Saleh. Arizona Cardinals got rid of Jonathan Gannon, which was a good move because he hadn't done anything with the team in 3 or 4 years. Might not be all his fault. They have serious personnel issues. So I don't know what the general manager's doing or the executives or anything, but they have personnel issues. They hired Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother, who's probably a good football coach. He's probably learned from Matt. He's learned from Sean McVay. But he's got some serious personnel issues. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to do anything with the Cardinals. It's an uphill battle there. So Jonathan Gannon out for the Cardinals. That's good. Mike LaFleur in. Probably a good choice. I probably wouldn't have hired him, but he might be a good choice. But Cardinals personnel issues probably is not going to work. The Browns. Raiders. We're on the Raiders. Pete Carroll out. Good move. He actually made the Raiders worse, which people thought was not possible. But Pete did it. He pulled it off. He's a nice guy. Some kids I know were on his team at USC, and he went to one of their funerals. And he's a nice guy, but he did a terrible job with the Raiders. They hired Clint Kubiak, brilliant. Mr. Spytek was instrumental in that. Really good move to hire John Spytek as general manager. It's really good to let him do what he wants, because this man, he did play football. He does have a lot of experience in the NFL in management and supervisory positions, and he knows how to build a football team, and he knows football. Let the man do his job. The Raiders will come back and be successful. So, Raiders, Pete Carroll out, Clint Kubiak in. Clint Kubiak, great choice. Browns, Kevin Stefanski out, Todd Monken in. Kevin Stefanski is another one that probably maybe could coach a high school football team, but besides that, you shouldn't have him around. Supposed to be an offensive guru, did nothing with the Browns offense the whole time he was there. They were terrible. The defense, held the team up. Good move. Get rid of him. They brought Todd Monken in, former offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if that's such a good choice or not. I know Mr. Harbaugh was let go. I think, this is what I heard rumors, that him and Mr. Monken the players didn't like them because they were too hard on them. So we'll see what happens in Cleveland with Mr. Munkin. I wouldn't have hired Mr. Munkin, so I think it's a bad choice. I don't think the Browns will do anything good. The Falcons, they dismissed Raheem Morris after a couple of years because he didn't win a Super Bowl, which is what they do in Atlanta. Because that's Arthur Blank owns that team, and he's one of the worst owners in the history of sports franchises. He hired Matt Ryan to be president of football operations, which I think is a good hire. I like Matt Ryan. He seems smart when I've seen him on TV. But he comes in and he hires Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach that was fired. This is one of the stupidest. There's several really stupid head coaching hires here that it's like, did they put drugs in the coffee pots in these executive offices? I don't know what they're doing, but these people have no clue. I mean, are Stefanski and Ryan buddies? And Matt Ryan wants to give him a job or something? I have no idea. But Kevin Stefanski should not be in charge of any NFL or college football team. Anyway, the Falcons will get worse. Unfortunately, they got some good personnel last couple of years, but they'll get worse now. So, the Ravens, John Harbaugh out after 18, 19 years. They brought in Jesse Mentor, defensive coordinator, LA Chargers, defensive coordinator, University of Michigan when they won the national championship. Worked with Jim Harbaugh for years and John Harbaugh. His dad was a defensive coach in college football, and maybe the pros also. Rick Minter. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I watch the Chargers every game. Probably 14 of the games their defense played pretty well, like a top 10, maybe top 5 defense in the league. But the other 3 weeks, they were non-existent. They didn't even show up. If you gave them the D and the fence things, they couldn't even put them in the right order those 3 weeks. They, allowed like 38 points or whatever those 3 weeks, 35, and they weren't even there anywhere. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence about him. He might do a good job. He might not. It's roll your dice on that one. The Dolphins got rid of Mike McDaniel as their head coach, which I think they should have. I don't think he should be a head coach. I think he should be an analyst. He's great at analyzing stuff and analyzing trends and looking at the tendencies of offensive coordinators and quarterbacks and things like that. I think. I don't know the man, but from reading what I've read, that's what I'm thinking. So they dismissed him. They hired Jeff Hafley, Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator. He is a former head coach at Boston College. I believe he had another head coaching job in college. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But I know he was the head coach of Boston College for a few years. Anyway, he's the Dolphins head coach. Good move. You needed to get Mike McDaniel out of there. It was a circus in Miami. Jeff Hafley, probably, I don't know if I would have hired him. He seems like a solid guy, though. So the Dolphins, it's going to be tough to do anything there. They got some personnel issues, too. You don't really have an experienced quarterback there. Tua's going to have to go. And Ewers has only started like 4 or 5 games in his career. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe they're in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. Who knows? Mike McDaniel's now the offensive coordinator for LA Chargers, working with Jim Harbaugh. We'll see what happens there. See what he can do with Justin Herbert and that offense, who's underperformed really for the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, the Steelers are next. Mike Tomlin resigned. He was not fired. He resigned. He says he's going to work on TV or as an analyst or do something in football, but not coach. He's not going to be coaching. And he was replaced by probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, head coaches of all time, Mike McCarthy. And I'm saying that sarcastically. What the is going through Steelers' minds? They signed. They signed Russell Wilson a few years ago, which was an insane thing to do. They bring back Aaron Rodgers, which was kind of crazy. They let Mike Tomlin resign. They drive him out. And now they hire Mike McCarthy. Oh, he did such a good job with the Cowboys. We need Mike McCarthy in here. They have a general manager, someone Khan, and I know he knows nothing about football. He knows nothing about running a football franchise, and I think, the Rooneys have lost it. I think they've got dementia or something. They need to have CRT scans, and they need to go to the hospital, and because these decisions they're making are just awful. Mike McCarthy should not be coaching anywhere. He should not be the head coach of anything. Maybe a high school team. Maybe. This man is terrible. Steelers are done as a football team. I said it before, Steeler fans, I'm sorry, but you do have the Penguins. They're not too bad. They're going to be in the playoffs. They got Sidney Crosby. He's an exciting player still. He's still there. He hasn't retired yet. Watch the Penguins. All right, we got the Buffalo Bills. They let Sean McDermott go. Supposedly after an argument, this is a rumor, argument McDermott had with executive management. They hired Joe Brady, their offensive coordinator. They promoted him to head coach. I like Joe Brady. I think he should be a head coach in the NFL. He may have a problem too with Buffalo because you need wide receivers and you need a defense to win in the NFL. Sean McDermott was a defensive coach, and the Bills played no defense for the last couple seasons. So I don't know how that works out. But anyway, I like Joe Brady. Good hire. I don't know if the Bills organization is the right place for him. If they spend some money and get some personnel there and make some good draft picks, maybe. But you can't win with just Josh Allen and James Cook. You can't. You just can't do it in the NFL. It's proven. All right, so this is Crow for sportscrapology.com. You can see us on that website. You can go to Sports Crapology on YouTube, and you can go to Sports Crapology on X and see all our stuff. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with NFL draft updates, our top quarterbacks, top offensive linemen, receivers, all the positions, and we'll have videos on that. It's pretty interesting. We're doing some deep dives into who's in the NFL draft. So, I see you next time. Thank you for watching.